Hello, my name is Paul Ferentz. I'm the training director for the Bricklayers Local 1, Maryland, Virginia, DC. Let's go train. Make sure that we have the proper PPE. I have a full face shield with the helmet. I have earmuffs. You need to have earmuffs or earplugs when you're using. You can use these ones right here that are collapsed into your ears. And then we're going to wear gloves. We have a respirator, and we're going to use a vacuum system when we remove this. Everyone, we're here. We're going to be taking out a couple of the mortar joints right here. We're going to remove or extract a historical masonry mortar and replace it with some fresh new mortar. We're going to be using a grinder with an erminator, the vacuum system connected to over there. And always when you check your grinder, you want to make sure it's always unplugged. You want to make sure that the wheel is free spinning. There's nothing inside here. You want to make sure that the connection is nice and tight. And you want to make sure that you have a good handle. You use this as your handle and this right here. So this has a dust collector right here, this brush. It'll help collect all the dust. I'm going to show you the proper way of doing it. I'm going to show you the improper way of doing it when people make mistakes and there's too much dust. That causes silicosis, and you want to prevent that. So we're going to start grinding. So you want to connect the power. You want to make sure there's nothing behind the wall that can cause electrocution or anything like that. You want to make sure everything is free. There's nobody that can get in the way. You want to make sure that the power switch is off before you plug it in. Okay, now we're going to start cutting this out. I'm going to use the grinder. I'm going to turn this on. My vacuum is going to be turned on, and I'm going to plunge into this mortar joint and then start cutting. I'm going to show you the proper way, and then I'm going to show you the messed up way where there's dust coming up. That's why you need a respirator, you need hearing protection, and you need your face shield. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now, as I demonstrated, I just went across. All I did was relieve the cut, and then I'm going to come in there with the chisel. Now I'm going to show you the improper way of doing it when you have dust coming out, which causes silicosis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my brick hammer. I could also use a line pin. I have my trusty flat chisel, and I also have a skate. This is for an air hammer, but I have a striking cap on the back. So we always want to make sure that we're two times back. This mortar joint is a 1/4 inch, so I want to go back at least a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. So before I start, I'm going to make sure all my PPE's on. I have my glasses, my gloves. Also, too, I don't need my hearing protection because I'm just tapping. I already got done with the grinding, but I need to make sure I have my face shield down. So what we're going to do is I'm going to remove this right here by just lightly tap. I already made the cut to release the pressure. Now I'm just going to come back with my chisel, either one of these chisels or my line pin. So what I like to do is put my hand underneath and just come in here and tap it. Right there, relieves the pressure. I can cut this all out. You do not want to go too far in because you can spoil the brick. That's a big no-no. You want to just come in and just remove the mortar. So coming up underneath. Some of it you might have to use a line pin or a smaller chisel. Now I'm going to use my tuck pointer and scrape out any of the debris that I have. So I still have to clean this area up here. I have to do the head joints and this joint right here. And I'm going to touch this one up here. Get this all nice and clean for this video. Then the next video we're going to show you how to point this in. But right now we're just removing the mortar, getting this nice and clean prior to actual pointing in. Now we're going to check the depth. Right here, we got 1/2 inch, we got 1/2 inch, we got 1/2 inch. Right here, we got 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, all the way around. We've been getting a 1/2 inch. There's a couple areas that I need to clean up, but I just wanted to show you the depth. Okay, so we just completed everything. I did the corner, this side over here. We did a couple head joints for the next project where we're going to show you on how to point. But today, all I wanted to show you was how to use a grinder and how to cut. All you want to do is make that release cut and then come in there with the chisel and a hammer, either one of these. But make sure your chisels are sharp. The sharper the chisel, the easier it's going to be to clean out. You want to make sure that your depth of it is 2 times or 2.5 times the width of the joint. So this is a 1/4 inch, and when I go in here, I'm over a 1/2 inch deep, so which is good. You want to make sure that all the mortar is removed to the best of your ability so that you have dry brick on there. You want to make sure you brush everything out, and this won't cause silicosis because all it is just big brick chips, or mortar chips, sorry. You always want to have your face shield on because as I was chipping away, it was hitting the face shield, so even though you're wearing safety glasses, chips can come up here underneath and get into your eyes. So it's always better to have a face shield on. So to recap, you want to make sure that you don't hit the brick like somebody did over here and down here. You just want to make a relief cut to relieve the pressure on it and come back in there with the chisel and clean it up. You want to find a chisel that will fit in the joint so that it doesn't spall. If you spall this, it gets stuck in there, you're going to pry it like this and it's going to break the brick or spall the brick around that corner. This is historical fabric. You cannot destroy it. So bricks are irreplaceable, if especially old, like 1800s. So this is the proper way of cleaning it out. This right here is just dust from the grinder getting up in there. That could be washed out with just rain. So I wouldn't even worry about that. But the next segment, we're going to show you on how to point. Thank you, and have a good day.